necessarily be able to go and qualify for a bank loan. So yeah, that's what I do, and that's my passion. Currently pursuing foreclosures, pre-foreclosures, getting to them before they auction off at the auction steps, and sometimes making deals with the banks to put the arrears on the back end, and sometimes having to come up with the arrears. But like Christine, seeking out partners after you do a couple of them, use up some capital. You realize you need to be partnering with other folks. You can close a lot more deals if you are in some type of partnership or some type of funding arrangement with a private money lender. So actually doing that as well. Have a guy here in town that I partner with, and we study a lot of properties and realize we can close a lot more deals if we had a constant source of funding. So, Christine, I'll be getting with you. I did get your message, and I'm going to give you a call. I've just been trying to get ahead of these taxes. And so today is like liberation day for me. So I can have more time now to do things that I need to do. And I do have your number, and I got your message, and I'll get back in touch with you. But I'm glad to be here.
Awesome. Thanks for the introduction, everybody. We'll see if Jay, you available. If not, we'll let Hannah introduce herself and share. Okay. We'll go
Yes.
ahead, Hannah.
Thank you. Thank you. So, hi, good morning, everyone. I am an investor in the Northeast. For 20 years, I kind of focused on my profession and taking care of two kids. One of my sons is serving in the Air Force, and my other son is in college. So I decided, okay, this is the time to get back in. I'm so grateful to be in your company because, a physician and trying to do this on the side, right? Yeah, real estate agent looking for the best deal. So I was also doing it solo. That was my biggest problem. Now I'm kind of part of so many communities. Like I just wish that I had attended a few meetings 20 years ago. I think I would have had a few hundred units by now. I didn't. I was just trying to do it alone, and you can't go far and you can't go fast if you're doing it alone. Now I go for all the local meetups, so I know if there's a deal. So now I've scaled my portfolio by 75% in the last 24 months. So I had 6 doors for 20 years, but now I have between 30 to 35 doors. But I agree with Johnny. Like, for example, I bought a house, I bought it for 35, rehabbed it for 35, but then there was a plumbing issue, $6,000. It wiped out 2 to 3 years of my income in that property. So that's why I'm thinking multifamily is the way to go. And here I am today to talk about midterm rentals. So we spoke about foreclosures, auctions. So the entry point, we want great strategies. Same thing with the exit, right? Yeah, Christine said she likes the hold strategy. That's my strategy. So then you want to maximize your profits. So today we're going to see about midterm rentals, which will help us to maximize our profits. Now, Johnny, I just want to know how much time do I have? 30 minutes or how much time?
Yep, 45 minutes.
Perfect. Okay.
So you can save some time, save a little bit of that for questions.
Yeah, questions. Yeah. So okay, I need to share. Thank you. Thank you, Johnny. And I really appreciate the invite. Yeah. Thank you, guys. And yes, I am looking for funding as well. So, Joel, if we could connect after this, I would really appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Now, let me just share my screen so that because I have to go between windows. So, yes, just give me 10 seconds. Okay, there we go. Perfect. Okay. Okay. So midterm rentals. Okay. So midterm rentals, it's not long term, it is not short term like Airbnb. It is, as the name says, midterm, in the middle of long term and short term. Okay. So this is our agenda for the day today. The first thing is foundation and mindset, right? Like short term, it's more become like an ocean of red sharks. That's what investor told me. There's so much competition, and everybody, even 18-year-olds, are trying to do short term. So it's kind of not doing well. Just if you Google, just 2 months ago, Airbnb removed 100,000 listings. And they've removed a lot more over the past few months. But just in March alone, they removed 100,000 listings. It was either March or February. So midterm is kind of like a different ball game, and I will explain. Now, property essentials. What do you need to make a midterm very successful? And then market strategies, then practical application. Yeah. So let's look at mindset. You have to have a positive mindset. For example, if you furnish a house 20, 30 days, you don't get anyone, it's all right. For example, if I had rented my unit to a long-term tenant, they would have paid 2,200. I get 4,000 for my midterm. So am I going to get a tenant tomorrow? No. If I put a sign for a long-term tenant, I get 140 responses. And the tenants who come and stay with me, they've stayed for 15 years, 16 years, no questions asked, right? But this is a different ball game. So you need to have a positive mindset. You can't be like, oh, today the unit is vacant. One of my units has been vacant for 15 days. So what? When the tenant comes, I'm going to make a pretty penny. So you just have to hold. It's like catching fish. It's not getting fish at the market. It's like going to a lake and catching fish. So you have to do it on your own, and you have to also have some patience. Yes. Now, persistence is very important, and resilience is very important. Okay. So now let's see what's midterm. Short term is under 30 days. Midterm is 1 to 5 months. Long term is 6 to 12 months. So, yes. Now, what are the midterm essentials? Now, it's very important. The first unit that I furnished, I hired a designer. And then I just didn't know what I was doing. So I hired a designer. And then she just went overboard a little because she used my house as a marketing gig, which I found out later. So what happened is she spent thousands of dollars. Guys, don't do that. There are much better ways to do it, and I'm going to show you some examples. So people need a comfortable bed. You can't have a bed that's not comfortable. You will not get tenants. Laundry access. They need, because a lot of them are government professionals, travel nurses, medical professionals, doctors. They want the laundry in the unit. Tech, fast Wi-Fi. Sometimes I get corporate clients, 6, 7 of them. So corporate Wi-Fi. Sorry, fast Wi-Fi, smart TV, full kitchen. Some people, they just go overboard and buy thousands of things. No, the essentials, right? Baking, cooking, serving, just the essentials, and that's it. So now creating a productive workspace. Yes, we need a nice desk, tables, proper lighting. Lighting is extremely important because if 5, 6 of them are working on office stuff, it has to be like, yeah, you need proper lighting. And then you need black curtains. A lot of nurses ask for that. You need a lot of mirrors. I'm hearing that houses that have mirrors are liked more. Artificial plants, right? Because people are away from their house, or they had a house fire, house flood. They're staying in your house. You want to give that cozy atmosphere. Then, yes, storage. So if there's a corporate client, or if you have a travel nurse or a government professional, then they want storage. So some closets, yeah. Then multiple charging stations, basic office supplies, yeah. Okay. Now, how do you get started? You need to get educated. Now, it's great that you guys are part of a community because that helps a lot. And I'm going to tell you how the community is so vital for this. You build relationships. Midterm rentals is all about building relationships. How Dr. Joel said, entry, right? I bet foreclosures and all that, he's doing all of this based on relationship. Same thing here, right? It's an exit strategy, but it is based on relationships. And you have to just be very confident, and you have to provide value. So now, yes, It's the location, extremely important. This can break or make your deal. Healthcare proximity, being close to hospitals is so critical, so crucial, because at least 25% of your guests will be travel medical professionals. And then access to transport like train, bus. They say when two highways intersect, that's golden. Then urban convenience, right? The litmus test is if there's a Whole Foods or a Trader Joe's close by. They say that means that's a good neighborhood, friendly neighborhood, reasonable pricing. You need to go and look on Airbnb and you need to just try to book for 30 days. And let's say Airbnb says 2,000. Yeah, you have to kind of have it in that range, 1,900 to 2,100, right? So that's what you need to do. Yeah. And then, yes. Okay, now operations, right? Yeah, I don't take less than 30 days. I prefer 30 plus days. The pricing strategy, just like I said, right? It has to be 10 to 20% less than what they will book on Airbnb. And then, yes, the golden nugget here is if you do Airbnb, you need to have cleaners. Contact any Airbnb host, they will say cleaners is their biggest headache. Show up late. They don't. Once I went into a unit that a cleaner had cleaned, the beds were so dirty and nasty. The bathroom kitchen was so nasty. And she wanted me to pay her in full. So this is why you if you have midterm, most probably you're cleaning only once every 3 months or 4 months or 5 months. So it's golden. Yeah. And because it's so rare, you can just go and just check the unit, or you can have somebody who can check the unit. Yes. And target demographics, right? We are looking for business professionals, tech professionals. The Washington, D.C. area yields itself for this. It's golden because there are a lot of government professionals, seasoned experts. Yes, I get a lot of calls from retired professionals. They're like, well, we want to come and stay close to our grandchildren, stay for 3, 4 months. Student educators. Sometimes you get when you're near hospitals. I have one near a hospital. Usually I get calls from patients who are in for like 2, 3 months for cancer treatment. Yeah. So this is the target demographics. Yes. Now we are going to look at a few examples of my units, and I'll tell you the positives and the negatives. Yes. Okay. So this is a unit that I rented in Worcester, Massachusetts. So this is, I can't target military because the closest military facility is like almost 2 hours away. But see, it's all about being creative, right? Looking at this list, you can tell now, Dr. Jewel, it's going to be very easy for him because he could just put an advertisement in different locations in the hospital. So it's extremely important to get in touch with the hospital HR. I tried as an outsider to go to a couple of local hospitals and meet the HR. They said, no, 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 we can't do that. But I know a lot of my friends in Texas and other states where they've gone and they add their name to the HR accommodation list. And when doctors and nurses come, they give them a call right away. Okay, so I'm going to show you another example where I spent more money. I'm going to show you this more cost effective. So this one, right? I found a place where it was a place that supplies to hotels like Marriott. They were having some beds and some furniture discounted for 75%. Guys, I got a 75% discount. And in Connecticut, there is a place, similar thing, discount furniture for 5-star hotels. I can share the details, but I know it's difficult to come from DC all the way to Connecticut. But I bet if you go to like places where they have rooming houses and all that, and if you ask people, where do you get your furniture? I bet you can find a furniture discount store. So if you want to do this, don't be going over the surface of the earth, trying to find all these expensive beds and everything. Find those discount furniture stores. You need to do that. That's number one. So instead of spending 30 to 40,000 to furnish these 3 units, I was able to do it between 10 and 12. So that is extremely important because we are not running a charity, we are running a business. So that's number one. Okay, now look at this, right? A lot of this I just picked up at yard sales. And this one came with the Marriott furniture. Remember, everything I bought for 75% off. So just an entire room furniture, I remember paying like uh, an insanely low amount. Maybe I paid $200, $300. Guys, this wood is all mahogany wood. It's extremely expensive wood, Marriott furniture, and I got it. Okay, the kitchen, right? I just went to like Facebook yard sale and other yard sales, professionals who are leaving the area. I just went and scooped up a lot of their kitchen supplies, and there you go. Of course, I shopped at a store that is here. It's called Ocean State Job Lot. And a lot of this, right? I got it from, and the TV was from Walmart. So this is where, and books is a very good way to decorate. So books all day long, they are a good winner. So this is why you have to be creative. People will say, oh, buy this, $100, $200. No, 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 no. Books is a great way to decorate, okay? And so just keep picking up things in the yard sale, put it in a corner in your garage, and then there you go, boom. This light, all of this came from the Marriott store. So they gave me all that furniture for like one room, right? And then, yes. So the bathroom is extremely important. Yeah, all of this I got at Ocean State Job Lot. Towels. You can look in Amazon, look at other places. Yes, you need a lot of towels. And then look at the comforters, right? They are white. White comforters are easy to wash. So that's why all of the Airbnbs as well, they are white comforters. Okay. Now, this dining room set as well, I just got it from Facebook yard sale. So that's the key, guys. This, if I had gone to a, now look at this. This is a triplex. Yeah, and Christine said she likes multi-families. So look at this, right? My mortgage is 4,500 and the water bill is probably like 500 or so, right? 500 to 600. Now, so I would have made, if I did long term, 5,200, I would have made just $800, guys, profit. But you know what I did? I furnished and I'm able to rent it for 4,050. Sometimes corporate clients ask me for a discount 3,500. Retired couples 3,500. But even 3,500, right? My mortgage is between below 4,000. Oh no, my mortgage is below 4,800. So I pay 4,800, but then right now my lower unit is vacant. But it's okay. The other units are making 40, 50, 40, 50. So I'm still making 8,100 and my mortgage is $5,000. So I'm taking home a minimum of 2,000. But what happens when this unit is occupied? Then I'm taking home $6,000, right? So that's why. So, and this is close, it's in a college city. There are 13 colleges in this city, and it is not in the best of neighborhoods, but most of the homes in the city were built between 1880 and 1920. This one was a new, because it was a rebuild after fire. So this is the city. Look at this, how crowded it is, right? And it's not an expensive town like Boston. Boston, I would have gone broke because Boston also, customers will pay only 4,050 or like maybe 4,600. But for 4,600, I would have gone broke. This is 50 minutes west of Boston, close to all the highways, close to all the shopping. Malls are just 20 minutes away. Look at all these buildings, guys. A lot of like colleges. So this is why location, location, location. Okay, this is in Birmingham, Alabama. Is it Chuck or Joel who's in Birmingham, Alabama? Is it Dr. Joel? Okay. So this is Birmingham, Alabama. This is another strategy, guys. This guy has 70 homes. He just rents. So he rents, he pays market rent, right? $750,000 like that. But he has furnished this and he's trying to rent between 2,200 and 2,600. But when I send it to, yes, now I had this, I've changed this, I've put a map. So see how this is, right? A very simple unit, but this, his business model, he doesn't buy anything used. So they buy everything brand new. So remember the 3-bedroom with the king beds and everything? I spent $10,000 to furnish this, right? And they spent $10,000 to furnish this. So that's why, guys, discount stores make all the difference. And imagine if you're trying to furnish 3 buildings, right? That's 90K. Who has 90K? So this is why cutting the cost is so important. But that's okay. It was his business model. He was my property manager. And so, sometimes in business, you just have to let go. So this is what happened. So this is only a 2-bed, 1 bath. I furnished 3 beds with king beds and 2 full baths. And I did it for the same price, right? Yeah, probably, in fact, even less. So this is why buying brand new is not the smartest decision. Well, let's look at the numbers. As I told you, I'm making a pretty penny, right? When the 3 units are occupied, I'm taking home $5,000 a month. But when 2 units are occupied, I am taking home still 1,500 to 2,000. What I would have gotten with long-term rentals, right? So yes, that's what I'm doing. Okay. So now here, look at the numbers. They spent $10,000, right? They are renting. They're making only $300 or so a month. So this is why you have to always do the numbers. Even Johnny has so many apartments, right? If Johnny wants to try this model, the best way to do it would be just 1 or 2 units at a time, not very expensive furniture. So if the model is not working, you can toss the furniture and you can just have it as long term. So, and sometimes when long-term tenants come, they just love the furniture. They'll just have it and they'll just say, you don't need this and everything. So this is an advertisement that I have prepared and I use it. I use it with, um, I use it with, just give me 10 seconds. Yeah, I made some corrections. So yeah, maybe this is the one. I just want to get the latest from you guys because I went to a business conference and they gave me some feedback. Okay, let's just, sorry, give me 10 seconds. Yeah, I think this is the one. Okay, yes, this is the one. So they gave me feedback. So it's so good that you guys are part of a team. Midterm, you can do much better, 100 times better when you're part of a team. And I'm going to continue to tell you why. So all of this, I'm going to come to this at the end and tell how part of being. So this is a house that I bought, right? Oh, the real estate agent said, oh, you're going to make like $12,000. She was also my property manager. So see all of this, right? Brand new, expensive stores. So it costed me like $30,000. So this is what you should avoid, okay? And this I got at a yard sale. Thank God I saved myself because she was going to go to all these places and buy a seat for $800. I just went and got it for 152 seats, right? So this is where you have to be very careful. Yeah, you shouldn't just go and splurge. Look at all of this I had taken from Massachusetts, but then like this mirror, and then even let's just go to this previous. Yeah, look at this one. This one was $250. Why for a wall hanger? $250. Not the smartest decision. This one I got at a yard sale. So yes, now, yes. So this one was a very expensive furnishing. All of this I picked up at yard sales. And these things are from around the world. Everybody says they just love this nook. So this is why this was from a yard sale. So it's extremely important that you keep the cost low. And I just wanted that boho vibe. So I had this. So guys, you can't do hodgepodge, right? Even if you're doing yard sale, everything. I try to get stuff with tags and all of that. You can't have red, green. You can't have it all mixed up. The house is going to look ugly. You need to have one theme, and that's what you do. So this theme was boho. So that's why everything is kind of like that boho style. So this is why you can't have hodgepodge. Then it's just going to be, the house is going to look ugly. Okay. So yes, now, yes, I put a map to the location of the house. And then, yes, I've just put where the proximity is. It's near all these places. And then, yes, now I have a unit at the back. Yeah. Now look at this very creatively what I did, right? I was putting it on Airbnb and people were coming. And who was coming? Usually a person who got out of rehab, or someone who got evicted. Those were the people who were coming. They were crazy Karens, constantly calling Airbnb. Oh, I saw a bug in the yard. It's Phoenix. You are going to have bugs. So they just were just, it was a maintenance nightmare. That's what happens with STR. They always call, they lie through their teeth. I once had an STR client and I went, they stayed for 15 days. Every day they call me 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. And then they would say, oh, we found a candy wrapper under the couch. Unbelievably ridiculous. So I went there, and some reason they thought I'm like a Spanish, or they were talking in my own mother tongue, Tamil, and they were saying, this is how we need to cheat and make a big deal so we can get all our money back. And I told in my mother tongue, I said, guys, you're getting married. Why would you do something like this without ethics, right? So this is why short-term rental is a maintenance nightmare. So just take Johnny's example, right? He's focusing on getting the best deals. He's focusing on scaling. Do you want to get 10 calls for a candy wrapper under the couch? So this is why I got out of STR. Like, where's your time being invested? You can't focus on strategy if you're going to be getting 10 calls a week from VRBO and 10 calls a week from the crazy Karens. They're going to drive you to the ground. So this is why you need to see, okay, I decided my personal style, this is not going to work. I work 9 to 5, 5 to 11, I focus on real estate. Okay, now look at this one, how creatively I did. I kept on posting ads. I kept on socializing with real estate agents. Real estate agents are the ninjas, right? Everybody comes to them. They're like, oh, I need this. So a lady came to a real estate agent and she had a voucher that had transitioned out of Detroit. In Phoenix, they would pay only $800 for this unit. It's a 1-bedroom king size bed. This is the living room and there's a little dining room nook. But because she transitioned with this voucher from Detroit, something happened. They were ready to pay me like almost $1,700. I told her, look, if you want this house, you need to pay me $300 for utilities. So now I'm getting $2,000. If I had posted it on Airbnb, I would have gotten the same $2,000, and I would have gotten the $2,000 only in high season. It would have been 90% vacant in the low season. That's why, guys, when you switch to STR, you have to do the math. You're not running a charity. For example, I just showed you my house just give me 10 seconds. Yeah. I just showed you my house in Worcester, right? I had a company, they have hundreds of Airbnbs. Okay, sorry. Yep. They have hundreds of Airbnbs in the Worcester area. They came and did the math and they told me if I put it on Airbnb, I'm just going to make maybe $400, $500 more than long-term rental. This is why being a part of a community is extremely important, because when you're outside the community, people could just lie to you. They would say, oh, I'm making $1,000. I'm making, no, 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 no. This is why you have to be careful. You have to work with someone who's telling the truth about their numbers. So they did the math on my unit and they clearly said, you will be making only $300, $400 after paying property managers, after paying cleaners, after paying for the cleaning supplies and the increase in utilities. It's not even worth it, guys. It's not even worth it. So this is why midterm worked great for me. Midterm, you make more money because you don't have cleaners in there 7 to 10 times and you don't have all that property management overhead. So this is why midterm was a profitable. Okay, now going back to this house. Yep, just give me 10 seconds. Okay, so yes, so this unit I rented for $2,000. So when I put it on Airbnb, only 2 months I made 2,000. The other months I made only 1,500. But long term was 800. This was 1,500, but I had to provide supplies and there was an increase in utilities and everything. So it was just too much overhead for just the few $100s I was making. Now I did midterm. This is where I went door to door in Phoenix. I tried to go to the city office, Section 8 office, everything. So then I found the Section 8 tenant. with the Detroit voucher, right? So I'm getting $2,000. So I am getting Airbnb top dollar. She booked for 12 months. We signed a lease. Then now she renewed it for another 12 months. She might just stay there for a long time. So see, instead of $800, I know 40 people, my own friends' networks, they asked me for this unit for $800. Maybe 850, 900 I would have received. But now see, I am making $2,000, $1,900 to $2,000 steady. But it took a lot of hard work going and trying to find the right resource and all of that, right? Yeah. And then, okay, now this unit, right? Yes. So this unit, I had a missionary. They came in November. They're getting out in May. In May, I am going to partner with a corporate client. They have 8,000 or 10,000 units around the country, and they have a very profitable unit. I spoke to them. They gave me a presentation. I like it. If Johnny is open, maybe one evening they can come and present their business model and explain the numbers and why it is profitable. And they have 8,000 to 10,000. I believe it's 8,000 units in the US. So this is why, guys, you're not going to find this contact overnight. So you need to be part of a group, and you should be there is a saying, right? It's more blessed to give than to receive. You guys need to maintain a database with these insurance contacts, corporate client contacts, all of them. Then I went door to door and I spent 8 hours knocking on doors. You don't need to knock on that because I have those email addresses you can contact, right? So this is the power of community. So when you guys leverage the power of community and you leverage being creative, what is real estate, right? You're a problem solver. Entry strategies, you're trying to solve all these problems. Exit strategy as well, you're trying to solve problems. So Airbnb, right? The problem is you need to have like a very unique house, something like this, but not with midterm rentals. There are people are there to work, just stay. So this is why just a unit like, okay, yeah, I just wanted to make sure I'm sharing. Yeah. See, just a unit like, yeah, just give me 10 seconds. Yeah. Just an ordinary unit an ordinary unit in a college town, 50 minutes out of Boston. And yes, somebody was telling me they started to start a midterm rental, and they were in a small town in the middle of nowhere, farming town. They're only like 10,000 or 15,000 or 20,000. I said, duck hunting season or something, they get a lot of tenants. Otherwise, the unit is vacant. So this is why, right? You can't be in a small town. This town has 250,000. So this is why, yes. And so uh, the Section 8 tenant, I told you the entire story, how it was a unique way I got it. So this is how, so when you get those tenants, right, and you have those contacts, then there you go. You put them in a database with the city, with the location, and you share it as a community. There are communities that are willing to share the contacts they have midterm, but you have to pay them anywhere between $6,000 to $10,000 to join the community. That's why you guys, as a community, you can maintain a database and you can leverage, and it's trial and error. That's why if you have 10 units, don't furnish all 10. So let me tell you, in this college town, I know a veteran who stays in a unit. So what they did is they got the cheapest bed from Amazon. They put beds in all the units. College students are coming. It's a 2 bedroom. They would have gotten only like 1,800, 1,600 rent. They rent it for 2,200 to these college units, and they are making a killing because they have 100 units. They're making $300 to $400 each unit. So for 100 units, that's $4,000 a month. That's 50,000, right? More money every year, minimum. So this is why midterm is profitable. And I am planning, even for this unit that is vacant, And for another unit, I'm planning to partner with this corporate client. It's an amazing model. And they are saying they can show us the numbers. They use some very unique strategies. They have 8,000 units. So I bet they maybe have 80,000 members or something like that. That's what you get, right? You leverage someone else's database and resources. And that's my plan to do this in both my units. And that's what, oh, and the last thing. So persistence, persistence, persistence. I told you, right? It's mindset. I had a shelter. There's a shelter for abused women. So I went and met them. I showed them the house, everything. They just said the location wouldn't work for us. Okay. So I had those contacts. 1.5 years later, I called them and I said, do you need a place? Guess what? That lady is now working with abused women, but she's working for the government. Now, if I join this corporate client and make some changes to this unit, the government client is ready to give me 4 clients per unit. I think I have to sign the lease for 2 years. So see how I'm leveraging. I'm going to the corporate client because there is a little legal nuance there, which when they come, they will talk and I can also add to it. So then I could use this abused women's shelter. It's literally a government shelter. They have so much need. And you know what? If I heard it right, they said, if I give someone accommodation, I think the government will pay me $3,000. So I am going to have almost zero vacancy, 2 years lease, and the government is going to cut me a check, most probably for $3,000 for every person. So imagine if I do it for 4 people in one unit, that's going to be 4 plus 4 plus 12. So I could be going to the bank with a $36,000 check between 1 to 2 years. So guys, this is about being creative, about building the database, being persistent, yes, cold calling. Yeah. Any questions?
Yeah, I have one, Hannah. That's a very interesting presentation there. Thank you for it. I was curious about the Section 8 program and using your Section 8 tenants in your midterm rentals.
Yes.
Do they come with enough of a voucher for you
Yes.
to profit?
She came from Detroit, so she had a bigger amount in her voucher, and Phoenix City transitioned her voucher. Now, Section 8 in Phoenix, for my front house, which is a 4-bedroom house, they were ready to pay me 2,900 or 3,250. But I put the advertisement in the Section 8 webpage. Phoenix has a webpage, and even cities in Texas have a webpage. They use the same software. I tried to put it there. I kind of did not get a bait. I also tried to put it on different Facebook groups. I didn't catch a bait. But if I catch a bait, I'm going to be set for life. I did get one Section 8 renter though. But then she told me she had gotten out of jail. And when I asked her for what, she's like, just murder.
Oh, just murder. Nothing serious.
Like her uncle or somebody tried to abuse her or something. I did panic, guys. That was like, so I'm adjusting with so many other things. I think I have a problem with just murders.
Oh, that's interesting. One other question. Do you ever arbitrage?
That is the Birmingham model that I showed. Yes. So that's where, right? Some people, they're so set in their ways. They're like, oh, we don't buy used. Like used is gold. What are you getting? You can't get a brand new house in the auction and foreclosure, right? You get somebody's used house. Used is gold. So that is that. Yeah. And this guy was like, no, no, no. So he spent 13,000, furnished the place, and he's just going to break even this month. And that is after like 12 to 15 months. So he's, yeah. So this is why, yeah. So he has made $3,000 in the past 12 months. And he's 50 minutes away from the Air Force base and the military base. He's near two hospitals, but he's 50 minutes away. That's why the location is so much key. Okay. You know who will come knocking? In Phoenix, there's a client who's behind my tail. She's been behind my tail for 12 months. The drug rehab places. So I went and toured one of her houses. I said, let me tour one of your houses. I just want to see what changes you made. So they have like locks in the bathroom, this, that. People try to put drugs here, there, everywhere. So then the laundry is locked up, everything. Because people try to have drugs and then push it through the laundry machine and everything. So I went and saw, but what did I see? They had keyed all the walls. They had broken so many doors. Bathroom doors were broken, bedroom doors were broken. They'd keyed all the walls. Even the stairs they had keyed. And everything was like broken. And I was like, no, I don't think I want, like, I'm ready to take some wear and tear, but this was like excessive. But the the rehab places, they are behind my tail to rent. Another place would be uh, um, the elderly, the nursing homes. They are always looking for a place. So I'm trying to partner with some of them. I'm trying to work with some of them. So this takes time, right? You talk to a nursing home. They're not going to come calling for you now, but I'm hoping eventually, like my Phoenix home, a nursing home would rent. Yeah. They're just scared because it's marble flooring. So they're scared that it would be very difficult with the wheelchairs and everything. So this is where you have to be creative, innovative, but it's good money. The money is there.
Yeah. Good. Yeah.
So right now, even yesterday, the drug rehab, that lady called me. So yes. And you know who's my current tenant? A missionary. And that pastor has a network of 5 to 7 churches. And he told me when other missionaries come or when other churches call, he's going to give my number.
Oh, great. Great.
The thing that comes to mind, first off, phenomenal presentation on different areas across the U.S., different niches that you're serving in the industry. But I think it shows and highlights we say it all the time, the riches are in the niches.
Yes.
And,
Yes.
a lot of times we can get caught up with social media, whatever it is with, big units and you got to have 1,000 units or go home and, a lot of this stuff. But, you just show how you're able to bring in to $5,000 by being able to at least have long-term leases for these midterm rentals on the triplex. That's just one property that's able to bring you in $4,000 to $5,000 cash flow. So if you just do that one time or two times, that's more than enough passive income that you can manage. And so I think we all have to recalibrate our mindset and
Yes.
look from a different lens at real estate and not just a traditional
Yeah.
rental model, but look
Yeah.
at different niches like this, or being able to get in smaller multifamily, or even taking a hybrid approach and using midterm.
Yes.
You got me thinking now
Hybrid,
with leveraging, maybe one of my quadplexes as a midterm rental location. And so it's just having that flexibility of approach and really understanding how to become a better steward of the resources that you have, the properties that you have right now in your portfolio that you don't have to go and procure or acquire. But now you can look at how you can retool what you already have. And a lot of times you see individuals that I know that have really elaborate homes, and they will midterm or short-term rental their existing home and lease it out, and then they'll go live in a hotel or go vacation or do something else. You have so many different strategies, but we have to relook at how we look at real estate and what's the best way to leverage our resources that we have today. And one of the big ones that you showed that was really, really great was how you leverage your time. Like how you say you work 9 to 5 and then you work 5 to 11 on your real estate. Like you do that for a year, 2, 3 years, and you can set yourself up where you don't have to work again. where like with Warren Buffett, the goal with Warren Buffett, it says where you're making money in your sleep.
Yes.
And
And
I
I
think
just
that's the
want to
goal for
add
all
one
of us
thing.
that's here. Sure.
My son was in college. I didn't have money to put for the furnishing or the down payment or anything. I took HELOCs on my current properties, not even $1 out of my pocket. And I bought this. And yesterday I was talking to a gentleman and he said, the rate of returns on this is infinity because I didn't put a dime or a nickel from my pocket. It was my HELOCs that paid for it. So my tenants in my other units are paying for this. And I'm laughing to the bank with the check.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep. That's it. That's how you make it work.
Yes.
That is awesome. We
Now,
open
just
up for
last
a
thing,
couple more
this
minutes for a
other
few more
corporate
questions.
client that I'm going to partner with, they have like 90% occupancy. They are willing to come. So I'll work with Johnny. Now, just look at the decoration behind Johnny's head, right? I wouldn't buy that brand new, but if Johnny is having a yard sale and he's giving me a good offer, I will grab it. So that is what you have to do, guys. Remember, used is gold. Yeah.
For sure, for sure. Any last minute questions? Phenomenal presentation. And I'll share the recording inside the school community too, where everybody can go back and kind of re-access it. And for those who may be new and don't know are familiar with our school community, it's right here, just kind of showing you guys share my screen. So school.com/REI Genius. And and so we have everything in here just from multifamily, raising capital, different opportunities to network, collaborate, and just continue to crush it in real estate, like Hannah showed today, how she's leveraging midterm rentals in her portfolio. And if you're looking for a community of other real estate investors, go-getters, then we would love for you to join. And and it's 100% free. Jump in. So school.com, and school with the K, SKOOL.com/REI Genius. And we would love to have you in and jump in the conversation. So with that, we'll see you all around next week. And definitely reach out to Hannah. Hannah, what's the best way for people to contact you?
Yes, I'm going to put, and please text me before you call me. I get a lot of spam. So yes, this is my phone number, guys. So you can definitely call me. Yep, I would love to talk to you guys and I would love to, help you out. And I just hit this gold mine. This corporate client was 80,000 units and they have 10% vacancy. So I think I've literally hit a gold mine. Yeah. So I can share all of that. Yeah. There's a legal nuance that these guys are using. So that's something when they come, I can explain it to you. It's a little tricky. Yeah. So how they use Section 8, they leverage Section 8, but they kind of use in their rental agreement, they use some legal terminology and they kind of bypass a lot. So that's something, we can explain next time.
Now, there, like we said, the riches and the niches, there's so many different strategies out here. And all you need are 1 or 2 movements to kind of set yourself up for success. So, no, great presentation. And thanks everyone for coming out for our $1 Million Coffee Hour this morning. We'll see you next Wednesday. And hey, let's go make some equity happen. Have a good rest of the week, y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you, Hannah.
Thank you.